internets. Lucky sometimes, you know. Better to be lucky sometimes than to be good. And I got lucky with our guest tonight. He had a window of opportunity to come and sit with us and kick it with us. We're literally going to kick it tonight. King, that's you know what I'm saying? King? All right, we're going to kick it tonight. All right? But keep your hands off the cedar box. Unless the cedar box is handed to you. Yeah. Unless it's handed to you. All right. All right, you don't open
12 and a half. I think, I'm a 12, so.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad
don't
that
like
you.
The colorway.
I'm glad that you. I am boiling my box recklessly. Okay.
This my man.
All right. Cool.
In Dallas' defense, he did tell me to get you guys some, so I'll make sure I take care of you guys. But
hold on for a second. No. I'll be honest with you. The two people from Talkitecture, I want to put in the streets. I want to style. Is Pratt, and Nile. Our intern Nile.
Nile's not here.
Nile's not here. Nile's not here tonight. Nile is he works a regular job too.
So why he can't? He can still style him, and then we can still get flourishments.
Hold on.
You see how your shit felt? You see how your shit felt? That was King. You gotta be hungry more than you thirsty.
I'm both, man.
Yeah. Mostly thirsty though.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta have something to wash it down with.
Change it.
Yeah. Always.
Let me tell the both of y'all something. I run faster than y'all, and I'm a size 13, so those are mine. Hey. Change it. Hey, I won't fit them, but change it.
All right. Internets. Like I said, we got lucky tonight. The gentleman, Willie Esco, fashion maven, guru, trendsetter. Visionary. Really, tri-state New York City kid. Whenever you get turned on by New York City, when you get caught between the moon and New York City. All right, we can't sing here because SoundCloud will pull that down.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we can't.
Oh, word?
We can't go through the full bar.
Okay.
No, you can do that.
You could.
No, I can do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna get right into my man, Willie Esco.
Yeah.
Willie, good to see you, brother.
What's up, everybody? Pleasure to be here. Always love to talk. And good to see you again, Dallas. I didn't see you in a couple years.
Dig that.
I see you on the internet, which I love that.
Right. I haven't seen the physical in a minute. Since you launched the Low Life brand.
Yeah, you were not feeling well at the time. I distinctly remember you were on this move to get better, healthy wise. So
I am on that move. I'm still on that path.
Very good.
It's a winding, long path.
It never stops.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Stops.
Yes, indeed.
I work out every day. Take about 2 hours a day. It takes 2 hours out of my day, but I feel better. I get more things done.
Oh man, you look marvelous.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's better to look marvelous than to feel good, right?
That's right.
You look marvelous, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
And I just met your crew here, so thank you everybody for having me.
Oh, no question.
Welcome.
No question. I told the crew today, I said, we're going to have some cloth talk tonight. Now,
I can help you with that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's why we got you here. Because the intersection of hip-hop and its presentation, its apparel presentation,
right,
has been important from the gate.
Right.
It's been important for the rap bands. It's been important for the single artists. It's been important for the culture. It's how you identify the people that you may not have even met. And they see you and they say, oh, I see what music he listens to. I see how he rocks. I see how he gets down.
Correct.
So it's our business card in effect.
Right.
And when did that light bulb come off in your head that, hey, this is how because you're not from New York City, Center City.
No, my story is, I'm the sixth borough, so Brick City, Newark was always outside looking in, although we probably had the worst city out of all the boroughs in New York.
Well, Newark, hard body.
Yeah.
Hard body.
Yeah. So my whole thing was, people OGs say this all the time, but I feel blessed to have lived and witnessed my era, right? And I still am sort of in the mix today. But when I first started and I got into what I wanted to do for a living, it started through hip hop. It started through street culture, graffiti, I was just naturally drawing, and then I got in trouble many times, and I decided to make that. I heard you can make money out of it, but I'd rather do art than teach be a teacher or be a fireman or anything. So
what you do? You were basically a graph artist, copping tags, throwing up, bombing.
Really couldn't bomb too well. The one time I did bomb, I got caught because I did the masterpiece.
But you bombed on a police precinct?
And I bombed on the high school, right? Barringer High School, and I did the piece on the back of one of my class projects. I went to St. Benedict's Prep, so I was an outlaw. I went St. Benedict's Prep is private, isn't hard in Newark, but if you went there, you were considered uppity. I'm far from that. Okay. Like, I am not that.
Okay.
So,
but I mean, shit, you didn't pay for it. It was your parents that spent the bread.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. They was trying to,
Well, and my school was kind of cool because they pick up half the tuition if you're eligible to get in. And it was a lot of the kids there were from the city.
Smart, dumb nigga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You go in, and you're automatically. I'm sandwiched between Arts High and Central, and to get to school, you had to run a gauntlet to get past Central High, and it was always a challenge. But I went to the high school, and so it's when hip hop started. Like it's 81, 82, 83, and I'm entering high school.
Who had the pause tape? Who had the cassette?
Oh, I had my own cassette. I would bring my stuff in.
How'd you get cassettes?
Well, I would listen to WHBI at night, like about 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, not too many people in Jersey knew, but after the radio played, hip hop did not come on until after midnight.
Till deep in the morning.
Yeah. After midnight.
Was a college station or even a broadcast station, it had to be like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it'd be 2 hours, and then you had to wait. And then at WHBI in Long Island, they have the real cats on, and that's what I would tape and listen to. So at the time, you had Cold Crush Brothers, you had all that stuff happening, and I'm not in New York to witness it. I can only hear it from the tapings.
What did it sound like to you? What did, when so you can't physically see it, but you hear it,
right?
And sound creates images.
Yeah.
What did it look like? Were you a comic book fan? What were you a?
Nah,
cartoon?
I was not a comic book fan. I love fashion. I love sneakers so much. Like, I love sneakers before sneaker culture existed. So much so that, like, I was aware of what I was wearing. Even though I had no money, I'd buy my sneakers in the supermarket. My moms would buy it for me, but I wanted to make them look fly. So I'll get shoe polish and I'll add something to it to make it different from what was on the rack. So at the time, I don't know. We don't know. We all are just shopping in, let's say, 5 and dime stores or Army Surplus stores.
Yes.
That
was it. Army Surplus or Robbins.
And you would make fly whatever they have on the floor there, stacked up high, and then that was just the beginning. And I just remember being aware of my appearance. If I can get one good piece, I'd rock that for about a month. Sneakers
marathon.
Yeah, in Newark, sneakers were everything, but I like Pumas. Pumas from Yugoslavia, Pumas, like those sneakers. And Adidas were cool, but it was too commercialized by Run DMC. Nikes weren't that hot yet. I probably can't imagine, but Nike wasn't that hot yet.
Nike was still some
Nike was known for running, and basketball didn't kick in yet.
Yes, and true story is that the best sneakers really were between Adidas and Puma.
Correct.
But they were tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And when Puma was doing those suede Clydes, which was a basketball shoe, but it was suede.
Yeah.
That was like, I just remember having a pair of, actually I didn't have the pair, but a dude I grew up with had a pair of suede Clydes, blue suede Clydes, and we all had to touch his shoes.
Yeah.
Yep, he came outside.
That blue was
like,
everything.
The blue
was everything.
And just the nap of it, the way it was like now they try to fool us and say, oh, this is nubuck because it's smooth or whatever. That shit is synthetic. That shit is not even new buck.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Clydes that they're trying to put out
Yeah.
with the new some of the new NBA
NBA, the basketball.
Okay, no, I haven't seen them.
I seen them. I seen.
Okay.
I mean,
Any
I work with Puma on the Coogee stuff. It's clean. They have way more to come, and they have lots of money to spend. So I think this is just the beginning intro on that shoe, and then they got.
And they
some
started
other-
off with Clyde.
Yeah, it's rightfully so. Like
Yeah.
they're the guy that gave them the most exposure on the court.
Yeah.
But for me, coming up, Puma in Newark, yes, you can get Adidas. If you wore shell-toe Adidas, you had to rock them without laces, and don't get caught in the wrong spot because you might get jumped. So it was. I'm Branchbrook Park. I'm 7th Avenue Projects, Newark. So I go far back, and I know the culture so well that being able to understand why I'm here is because I was documenting everything in my mind as I'm experiencing it. I'm like, wow, I remember the first Houdini tape that came out. The album was, every song was hot, and it was, the year I was graduating from high school. Trying out for Swatch Watch competition. Because we're from Newark, we came and, they didn't give us the champ. If you win, you go on tour with, it's a Fresh Fest tour. First one ever. So if you win that competition in breakdancing, you go on tour with Houdini.
Wow.
That was the first one. So that's changing your life. And I was that close. Because we were not from New York City, they didn't give it to us. That's just how politics that ran it. So I was just naturally immersed in the culture, like going to clubs and listening to hip hop, not dancing, but listening, smoking weed and just really on the scene, watching the styles of clothing that's happening. Everything from my perspective in every aspect of hip hop was viewed through a lens of fashion, like the Beat Street scene where they come on the that shit keeps popping in my mind. Beat Street scene when they're coming into the subway and they're about to break dance. That kid got a bubble vest on, and I'm like, yo, that vest is everything. So I would see everything from a point of view of fashion. So I knew that was, I don't know how to do it.
Right.
It didn't exist. What we're doing today, what I end up doing for a living, didn't exist because it was all high fashion. We were spoon-fed what we, here's some Levi's,
some
Wranglers,
BDs, some Latigra tops.
right.
You know what I mean? Oh, we'll give you some colors. Oh, we'll give you some stripes in them.
Yeah.
But,
Original Garmentos saw their spike in business, and they're like, oh, let's stack these up in surplus, and these kids come in and they match them up to their shoes. It was amazing to see that evolve. But I saw it from a point of view where it was fashion, and I'm like, this is great.
Well, you were doing it.
Yeah,
you were doing it.
And then you got the Jordan thing happen, '86. To see that shoe come out, high price. I don't like two-tone anything, so I didn't really like the shoe. And I knew it was a rip from the dunk.
The Jordan 1 did not catch the lick.
Yeah.
The Jordan 2 was the one that they finally figured it out.
Yeah, well, they knew they had something, right? So they had to spend time and quality.
They finally figured it out, which is they took the Nike swoosh off the shoe.
Yep.
And they made it in Italian leather with a faux. It wasn't a faux, but it was like a croc print leather. So this was some supple, soft. They got on the luxury level.
Yep.
Because again, all through my sneaker life, like I love sneakers too. Tennis shoes were the shoes to have because tennis was the sport to play.
Yeah.
It's elite. You got to take fucking lessons. You can't fucking hang a peach basket, nail a peach basket to a wall and throw a ball at it. You got to take lessons. You got to get a racket.
Stan Smith was like
Stan Smith was basic. Adidas made tennis shoes. Forest Hills, Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Nastasi, Rod Laver, Stan. They made tennis shoes. It wasn't called a sneaker. It's called a shoe because it is a piece of athletic equipment. Like there used to be running spikes. Tennis shoes were on that level. They were researched. They were developed. They were technically crafted on that level. So tennis shoes were the shoes to have. Jordan certainly brought the tectonic shift into basketball sneakers, but he didn't do it until the 2 came out.
Yeah,
because
right.
It was the 2 that niggas would beat the brakes off you for.
Yep.
I mean, you get the brakes beat off you for anything.
Well, the black right
Poor people,
they made a lot of noise because he got fined, right? So he would be fined every time he wear these shoes, and I hated two-tone, but the fervor of kids wanting to go get these shoes. Like I see my boys, and we were back then basketball. It was about Adidas Top 10 was the one. Like we're coming out of a Converse canvas shoe. Adidas Top 10 was talked about everywhere, and it was like that's the shoe to have. I couldn't afford it, but I stuck to my Pumas or whatever I had on my feet.
The James Worthy New Balance.
New Balance, that was a whole nother.
That was a hot shoe around that same time.
James Worthy New Balance.
Around the mid '80s time.
That was an even higher price.
You mentioned that Nike wasn't really a factor.
Not yet. They were.
But then you said like in '86 when Jordan, when he dropped the ones, was that like where you saw the transition for Nike being a factor in the sneaker world?
It was still other brands. There were still other brands.
They were all these sneaker companies were enjoying college, plucking these kids out of college. High school was not even a calculation yet. They did not know to go even farther down and pluck from high school yet. But you could start seeing, my high school was getting sponsored, and you start seeing certain things. But Jordan, and I didn't know who he was till he took the shot at the Final Four, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Like he got balls. He took that last shot. I was like, "I'm an avid sports guy too." So you got Big East. Yeah. I'm a Villanova guy, okay. and Seton Hall wasn't doing anything at the time. That's a local team.
You gotta be a Nova guy. You gotta be a Nova guy or a Seton Hall guy.
Philly, Nova, and the shoes they were wearing Pumas. They were wearing contacts, and it was like everything about the culture was just so crazy green at that point. And I knew it was green because I'm like, yo, this is incredible. We got Michael Jackson, we got Mike Jordan, we got Mike Tyson, and I'm just walking the line of experiencing hip hop grow, and Jersey's slightly different. You could love house music and you could love hip hop, and I appreciated both, but sometimes the hip hop got crazy. Like hip hop, when I think it was that Daha, the rapping Duke thing. I was like, now they just making fun of hip hop. I had to take a few steps. Yeah, I stepped back there. I was like, I don't like that. Inspector Gadget, like certain things that will force me to step back from the music side of it, but the culture was. I'm so immersed in everything else, and witnessing everything else. But at the same time, I'm looking at the aesthetic, the obvious aesthetic. When someone gets a brand new pair of sneakers, you can see, those are brand new. The side profile looks crazy, and I live for it. So every Final Four, my birthday's in March. So every Final Four, I get a pair of new Pumas, and I wear them as I'm watching the Final Four. That was a treat to myself. But it's just I knew from very early on from
what's
drawing.
Puma? Speaking of Puma now,
right?
What's Puma doing currently for basketball?
Well,
do you know?
I know to a certain extent.
Okay.
I haven't been involved with them for a few months now, but what they're doing is they're pushing the envelope. They do have Emery's been doing a very good job at, and Rock Nation's been doing a very good job at understanding that they have to huddle together. This is our point of entry. It's an opportunity for Jay to get his athletes signed directly with Puma, and it's an opportunity for Puma to directly plug into culture and talent.
Sure.
So the first shoe, underwhelming, but I see people wearing it, and a lot of the shoes I see are underwhelming. Like, so it's like a lot of the basketball shoes I don't really.
It was probably more to just reintroduce themselves. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Puma's got a dad shoe out. And I'm seeing that.
That one we talked about as well. I talked to the sales team.
That one is the one that I'm seeing all over the place. So I'm saying to myself, Puma, like the last time I fucked with Puma, and Puma also has a nice set of vintage shoes they can mine.
Yeah, no, they got this Ralph Sampson coming out. They got the Palace Guard coming out.
Listen, they got a great skate shoe.
Yeah.
Puma California.
Oh, the California, yep. GV California.
No, fuck the GV.
You like
fuck the
California.
profile of the GV. California as an official skate shoe.
Yeah.
GV got that smoothed out, slim Euro profile. Now fuck that for that tennis shoe.
Right.
Skate shoe, California. Euro profile was those Formula One shoes.
Yeah.
Puma was killing
They were
with
killing.
that.
They were.
They gotta reintroduce it on some limited shit.
Well, yeah.
On some limited shit.
Natural, when the pendulum shifts too far to the left or right, which is your
They
dad's
OD.
shoe,
They OD
you gotta
with
go down to the low profile. Now you're going to go all the way to the racing shoe, low profile. And my son actually is at a company that is sort of pioneering that whole low profile Samba look. You know what I mean? Like it's a very low. It's a brand called No One System. They do bespoke. You got to go, if you're in LA, you got to go out there and check it out. 'Cause they do bespoke. It's like a cobbler shoe store. You pick your leather, you pick your outsole, and then they make it for you on the spot. They got cobblers in the back.
Sure, that's bespoke right there, yeah.
It's bespoke. It's definitely bespoke. And you got a lot of celebrities. They're backed by the Rothschilds, and it's pretty interesting. So what's happening
bench made. Like I got several pairs of Ralph Lauren shoes that are bench made. And I mean, that's done by a cobbler. That's like a master cobbler's on that joint.
Crazy. But, you know, I basically was a student when I was a student. So I was paying attention, and I always said to myself, where's this going? Like, I'd like to see hip-hop in 30 years, and I'm 30 years later now. I'm saying, wow, this is crazy. I'm witnessing a lot of growth, a lot of change, and so much. You go up and down, you know.
Well, I mean, then give me the mountain. Give me that first mountain. That first mountain is that collaboration with you and Nas.
No, the first mountain, I will tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you, the first mountain is, you got to understand, I am a straight dude from Newark, New Jersey, who says I want to be a fashion designer. You say that to yourself in 1982, 83. That's not something to say out loud, because people did not. Concept of designing clothes was feminine based. So it was not. It's just kind of hard to comprehend, but it didn't exist. So I was like, I would like to. All right, so I'm happy to design clothes. I'll design women's clothes, men's clothes. I want to design clothes for a living, and I'll be happy if I do $2 skirts for Bambergers, or, you know, at the time. I don't care what. I want to design clothes.
Now, with all of the history of men designers, why did people look at you and say, no, you can't have this?
Men couture designers and men designers in general, the connotation was they were, most of it is, I went to FIT, 90% of the guys there were gay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just, and there's nothing wrong with it. It was just like, well, I now know how they sometimes feel in the regular world, because I'm in a space where they're comfortable, and I'm sort of like, yo, I'm a straight guy. I didn't doubt the fact that I wanted to do it.
Yo,
but I understood.
You were being straight bashed.
Yeah, no, not even. It's just understanding that the potential to be straight bashes. And when you go to work in the marketplace, that's when you were getting like, yo, they look at me, where you from, see my demo, and be like, I don't think you're fit for this job, and I could tell what it was. So yeah, I'd take lower jobs, you know. I'll do freelance, I'll be a graphic artist. I told myself everything, graphics to pattern making, full arm to the teeth, so no one can say no to me. Because of the marketplace, like, I have to be able to get a job. So I went to FIT, I went to Rutgers 2 years, 85 to 87, 87 to 89, I went to FIT, and those are the formative years of hip-hop. Those were the years hip-hop was...
That's the mountain. So that's the mountain that you...
Yeah, and
that's your first mountain.
I started seeing cross colors. Byron Lars, Patrick Kelly, black, minority, people of color designing clothes at a slightly higher level, or making money at it. And did
you fuck with Willie Smith?
Yeah, of course. I bought the clothes at the outlets. I bought the clothes. Anything when I said minority, men of color, women of color, anything that was closer to people that look like me, I would say, all right, there's hope. So let me give you my money because I like what you're doing and I want to support you. So Willie Smith was on my back all the time. Okay. Armani was on my back all the time, though. You know, so you want to...
Armani used to have a lot of samples. Let me tell you something.
Sample sales was crazy.
I used to be able to get so much fly shit for cheap.
Yep.
Because as this merchandise and marketing capital, fashion brands would have sample sales in the city, and there would be shops along Broadway in the Village where you could fall through, and you could catch a sample piece of Low, a sample piece of something fire, Champion, whatever.
And they would. The thing is, in Italy, it was selling. They dumped their goods in the U.S. market to get rid of it.
Wow.
So I understood that dynamic. So you did too many pieces of that piece over here in Europe, and they're like, they don't want to be a store in Europe and see it marked down to 50%. Send that to New York.
Yeah. Send it to Century 21.
Yeah, Century 21.
Century
Daffy
21.
Dan's. Daffy Dan's, you catch a lot of licks in there. I was just living in Daffy Dan's because I know the brands. And I'm like, this is quality stuff. So, you hit that, you go into that space, and you're witnessing things, and you're trying to get to the point where, like, all right, there's hope, but I start working. Now it's time to get out of school, start working 9 to 5, and work at a screen printer. I'm rolling up my sleeves, working at a screen printer for women's clothes, not knowing when the break's coming. I don't know if I'm ever going to get a break, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. That's the one thing I told myself. I got to be happy that I'm
What was the company? What was the company? What was the women's wear company?
Oh, it was a screen printing company. It's called Cracked Ice. It was in Newark. It was embellishments on T-shirts.
Okay.
And jewels, stones, whatever. And I would, the minute I understood I'm in it for the long term, so when I went into the space, I went in and improved their business, and then said I stayed there for about 5 years, and then I moved on.
Okay.
So
I'm come on, Willie. We need.
So you want to know the moment?
We need
So
that.
when was the transition?
Here's
I want to know. Like I'm looking in Source Mag.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and I see this, this advertisement.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's so
It's way before
compelling.
that.
Stylish.
Now here's the deal. What happened with that? It's very. I ran a gauntlet that was pretty incredible. I think I told Garf's in the room, but my gauntlet was crazy because I knew there was opportunity. I had to be aware of who's going to present it to me. So a gentleman by the name of Leonard Rothschild, who had 6 stores in Chicago, very famous retailer in Chicago. Kanye used to visit his shop all the time. All those cats used to go through his shop. He was the pinnacle shop.
Okay.
Right?
Atelier, what, for leathers, for what?
Everything.
Okay.
He had FUBU. He had all of the Pele Pele was the marquee brand out of Chicago back then. Pele Pele was on fire in Chicago. Wow. So he comes to the office. I'm working doing $2 skirts. Now he comes to visit his boy, my boss, and he says, I need help. I have the license for Pele Pele underwear. Mind you, I don't know what a license is. I just hear Pele Pele, and I automatically knew I need to know this guy. If someone's talking the talk that you hear on the street in the office, and you hear it, I gravitated towards him immediately. So my boss was his boy. He says, "Yo, Will, can you help me with this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I know." I started talking about the culture, which they really didn't know too much about. But he's like, "Yeah, I think I could do something with this." And I have to remember Calvin Klein, Marky Mark, big explosion in underwear. Underwear business was
branded
crazy.
underwear, sure.
Crazy business.
Yeah. You
It's an
like
explosion.
branded underwear. No more Fruit of the Looms.
No more
Hanes.
food. No. This was like you drop your pants down, you see it. So I put together a nice package for him. He's like, "Yo, how much?" I was like, "Nah, that's free. It's on me." I didn't ask for nothing. Free. He went to something called Magic in Vegas. Sold $2 million worth of underwear. So he came back. He was like, "Yo, you know what? Forget about this license thing. We want you. I need to make a deal with you. Like, you just made me $2 million. I'll hit my licensing fee, no problem. You just do your own thing. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, just come up with your own line. And that's how fast it happened.
Damn.
No. So we just said how fast it happened, but understand, I just made Willie cut off about 20 years of the shit happening fast.
but no. It all goes back to what we talk about, even on our day to day. Like, success is about time and opportunity.
Yeah, and being open.
If you're not in it though,
and being open minded to accept opportunities, and be humble enough to maybe. You can't help me right now, but you might be able to help me later. So why I should be very nice to everybody around me because I don't know when you can help me.
Relationships. See, I was going to say that. That is your word, but I was going to steal it from you. But you shot it quicker.
It's not about money.
Right.
It wasn't about money for me. It was more about an exercise. Let me show this guy how nice I am, and he'll walk away with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And he came back and said, not only did he come back? He said, "Do whatever you want." That's when I said, "Oh,
now you got the freedom to create the creative."
That's what. Yeah.
No. I mean, that's says do whatever
concept,
you want,
right? But that means I'm thinking business, and I'm thinking, what do you mean, do whatever I want?
Right. What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean by like? Are you kidding me? So I had to take a moment. I went to the bathroom and I almost damn near cried, like, because I'm like, I understand it was a moment. I was like, now. Since after that, so many things happened, but at that moment, I was like, "This is what
that's a mountain right
hard
there.
work.
That's a mountain
that you put yourself in a situation and it presents itself. It's not that person presenting; it's my higher power presenting it to me. You know what I mean, it's like somewhat you understand. You put energy out, comes back.
Blessings.
Yes, right. No, that guy was just facilitating something that was coming your way anyhow.
Right. So, and I had a 2-year-old son. My son is about 2 at the time, and I was only focused on work. I'm making about $45,000, and at the time that was good.
That was good, but that was but you're still struggling. I mean, you're still grinding.
No, 45 was good.
No, 45 was not.
No,
45 in
this is 95. 95. I'm all right.
Come on,
no, I'm telling you.
Gas prices was $1.15.
I'm all right.
Super.
Okay.
I'm telling you at 45. Okay. I'm like, okay. I know this is a stepping stone. At 45, I'm good.
Okay.
And I'm like, I know I'll be in 60 and 80. So this guy presents me an opportunity, but it's not a real opportunity. Right. It's really like, let me see what you can do. And then I had to put in the work. Once I put in the work, it wasn't good enough to compete in the marketplace. But my hustle was different. Okay? My hustle was, let me see what I got. So I get the deal set up March, or Vegas was a February Vegas. So he comes back by March.
No, Vegas is what? Is that still the Magic convention?
Yeah.
The Magic show?
So March, twice a year.
Okay.
By the time they say, go for it, it's spring. And I basically have a sample room at my beck and call. So we would have sample rooms on 7th Avenue. It's not like that anymore, but you had a room full of girls making whatever you want. So hip-hop was a whole new thing. My boss was like, yeah, go ahead and do that. I understood at the time. Think about it. It's an opportunity, but it's also, if I don't make this pop, I'm out of here.
That's right.
So how you making it pop? What are you playing? What year is it again? 96?
This is 96.
96. What are you playing in the office? You playing Bad Boy? What are you playing?
You can't really play too much. I'm playing Bone Thugs and Harmony, Biggie.
Okay.
I was appreciating Biggie being able to change the word flow. It's Nas, Mobb Deep definitely. And I'm shooting. I'm part-time stylist for Danny Hastings, who's a photographer who shot Wu-Tang album cover. We did Fat Joe album cover, Jealous One's Envy. So I started styling, right? And that was cool too. That was fun.
Styling on them.
Yeah. I said, if I'm gonna do fashion, I need to meet these artists, and I used the photographer to get me to meet the artists. And I said, I'm not gonna have a deal at the time, but I know I'll be able to be in a room one day and be like, "Yo, Joe, what up?" And then I just envisioned that opportunity where it's like he'll remember me styling the album cover, and put my clothes on. That's the dynamic. I play chess like that in my mind all the time. So it's like I saw that possibility if I'm styling clothes. So I'm doing that, and it's early in the year, and I know if I don't make it pop, I will be removing myself from a current job position that I'm making money on, right? Because they'd have to replace me. And I just said, am I going to go for it? It's like Star Wars. It's like Death Star. You're like, are you going for that shot? And I decided to go for it. I was like, yo, I have a few months to make this work. Made my samples. Did T-shirts in Brooklyn.
What was the inspiration? What was the...
He said, call it whatever you want. I looked at what was hot. Fubu was hot. Mecca was hot. Pure Players was hot.
Wow.
Right? All names, I don't know those designers. I know the names. You don't know who the designers are. So I was like, I'm calling this shit my name. Tommy Hilfiger, super hot. That's a person. Giorgio Armani, person. And I always also said to myself, hip-hop is generational. So I think I'll do this for a certain amount of time, and then I'll go by the wayside. I'll have to live on what I've done in the game, but I want to be able to be, and this is before internet, I want to be able to be, Willie Esco was this guy at this point. Fubu guys, you know Damon now because of Shark Tank. You don't know the Mecca guys, though. You don't know who those guys are. It's Tony Shelman.
Tony Shelman. You kind of know Tony Shelman, but Mecca, Nietzsche. You
in the
know
world of, he wasn't, it was sort of a name of a general brand. So I wanted to be that different.
You're right.
I picked a name, and I needed success. I needed to be successful. The marketing side was, how am I going to make this successful? So Willie was cool. My name was cool. Escobar, my grandmother's maiden name. I was like, and Nas was hot.
And I'm glad 96. Nas is on his second album.
Correct.
He's on It Was Written.
Correct.
And he's competing.
Correct.
He's more visible now.
Correct.
And he's talking that shit.
Yeah.
And Biggie's still already.
He's coming off the Firm, I think, at the time.
Illmatic, no.
No?
Firm was right after that. Oh, no, you're right.
It's coming off the Firm. Phone Tap.
Phone Tap, yeah.
Phone Tap was crazy. So I needed success. I needed to draft off. I know how the kid thinks. He's going to hear Escobar.
Esco.
And he's going to think Ill Will. So Willie Escobar, I was like, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's what it is. And I'm going to make the brand. I'm going to be red, white, and blue. And I'm going to make it like Tommy. So I need to ensure success. Like red, white, and blue Americana. That's Puerto Rican at the same time.
Yep.
Fubu
Dominican,
type,
Cuban.
Yeah, all of it. So
Haitian, everything, yeah.
I am busting my ass trying to get stuff out. Now, this is the mid-'90s, so you got to get it to, I got to get it to Angie Martinez. I got to send FedEx T-shirts out to anybody. This is not go over here. You had to go find the address, send it to them, and cross your fingers. I sent it to the Source magazine, cross my fingers. So got picked up at Source, one picture, one of on a bunch of tees, my first blurb, boom. And then these artists wore it for the first time. And then started picking up little by little. So my thinking was, it's working. The way I know the culture so well, they're going to understand it. This could be Nas's brand. I'm not sure. I'm going to grab this T-shirt anyway. So I only made about $30,000. And at the time, I was sharing a booth with my brothers from Philly. Those guys were the ones that did Mesquite, all the hand-painted stuff. But they had a brand before that.
Oh, wow, dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were good brothers. They took me in, shared my booth, and I made $30,000. So I come back home. This is early summer. Come back to my partner and say, I made 30 G's. Hey. T-shirt orders, boom. They're like, that's cool, but that's not $2 million. That's not $2 million in business. So I automatically felt the pressure there. Right. You're like, oh, and then they got a new girl to replace me. So I was all in. I was all in. Got no turning back. Left to my measures, I had to then call on Elena Romero, who's in the documentary with me, Fresh Dress. I had to start manipulating the system. I had to go find money or get investment or do something to shake it up. I got a big write-up in DNR. How did I get the write-up? I read this girl's writing all about hip hop.
What's DNR for those?
DNR is Daily News Review. Okay. It's WWD. It was a division of WWD in the late 90s.
WW. That's the Women's Wear Daily. But yeah.
But this was focusing on men's, and then it was focusing on hip hop. So I met her. I had to become a politician. Met her. It's like, yo, I'm Latin. You're Latin. You got to help me out. You must help me. Like, I'm a Latin person in this hip hop game. We normally don't get no love. I'm the only guy. You gotta help me. And I don't normally. I'm a very humble guy. I don't like to ask for favors or nothing. But I was like, you must help me.
But you had to call him in. You had to call him in.
So she wrote a big article about 3 designers coming out. One out of L.A., one Chicago, one me New York. And if she focused on it, the write-up was. I got the write-up, gave it to my partners. So the $30K plus this. Isn't this something? Nah, it's all right. It's not that good. And at the time, your business was set up. You have to have a showroom. I shared a showroom with Naughty Gear. With Naughty by Nature had a brand, and some other people from MTV, and myself, and my showroom girl would take in, say you want 3 brands. All right, you pay me $500. You pay me $500. You pay me $500. I cover my rent. And I'll show your brand. I get commission. So she took my money, but she would show my brand last. And I knew this, and I was very frustrated. But I'm in the game, so it's like I gotta stay in the mix. So I knew she was doing this. She was taking my money, and my business partners were getting like, I don't know if we should do this. Spending too much time and money, and I felt the clock ticking. So it's June, July, August. And I got a 2-year-old, man. I'm a year and a half. I'm like, I got to make this work. So we went to a trade show. Me and you met in Agenda, right?
Yeah, we met in Agenda, yep.
So they used to have trade shows. They're called NAMSB, right? A men's show. And you could do Vegas, and then you could do New York. So we had a NAMSB show, and I felt like this was my last show. Like, this is the last thing they're going to pay for. This is June, July. But my pride was like, follow through. Do the exercise, man. You got to follow through. So that's what I did. I ended up told her, I'm coming with you to the show. You're not going to show my line last. Or you know what? I'll sell my line. You sell the 2 lines. I'm still paying you. Just introduce me to these stores. Okay, so I took the bull by the horns, and I sat at the table with her. It would go from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I knew I felt real bad. Part of me was like, this is horrible. I'm gonna lose my job in a couple months. I feel it, but the exercise. It's like what I told you. We get up and do some work.
Right.
The exercise for me. I put my sign together, put my collection together, and put it up there. And, I was happy at the moment for achieving that little bit of success. I sat at the table, and she says, you know what? I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Now, my FUBU guys are coming. They want to buy Naughty Gear. FUBU guys are on fire at the time. Now, FUBU guys are not Damon and Jay and all them. My partners now, they had 2 Jewish partners. 2 brothers, very well known in the industry. So that's the money side. They had the partnership with Samsung, and the FUBU guys were their partners. So the FUBU financial guys are coming. They want to buy Naughty Gear. I'm like, all right, cool. And I didn't see the opportunity. So I was like, all right, cool. I was a little depressed. If they come, please keep them here.
Right.
Okay, all right. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Soon as she goes to the bathroom, these 2 guys walk up, and they're having the time of their life. They're like, yo, where's the girl at? I'm like, she went to the bathroom. She'll be right back. 2 white boys come up, and they're like, yo, what is she wearing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not even paying. And right, it's not my. It was not appealing at all. Like, trust me. But, it was whatever it was, I was like, she's all right. That's not my cup of tea. I think I need a little more bulk on mine. But they're like, oh, and so we start laughing. And they're like, what are you doing here? I was like, I'm selling my own line. She's like, she's not selling it for you? Says, no, she's not doing a good job, so I need to step in and show it. And they're like, oh, cool, show us. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. I ain't going to show y'all because y'all FUBU. You're going to steal all my ideas. I don't need that. Like,
Your mind is racing at that time, right?
No, I'm not thinking of the opportunity yet. I'm like so focused on where am I going to figure this thing out. I'm not seeing the opportunity right there in front of me. So I'm telling them, fuck off. Like, I don't need you guys. You're going to steal my ideas. I got to figure this out.
You told them that too. You told them
Yeah,
that?
yeah. No,
you guys gonna crib my fly shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I'm from North. I'm like, you're in the game with us. You know what we're about. I am the Latin version of FUBU. And they're like, oh, we like that. Show me the line. I was like, so after a few banters, you like, all right, cool. Let me go through the exercise. So, because back then, you had to be seen showing your line, because it looks like you're busy. So I'm like, let me just show the line so that other stores could see me showing the line.
Do the exercise.
Do the exercise. I did it. They loved it. Gave me a card. Like, yo, we want to do a deal with you. And I'm like, what? They're like, we want to do a deal. Who owns what? I was like, now hold up. Like, I got investors. Right there, pimping started with me. I was like, now hold on. Like, I'm good. What do you mean? You're going to have to spend a lot of money if you want to buy this. Like, I don't know what that means, what you guys want to do, how serious you are. They're like, here, they gave me the cards, and they were like, we want to do this. They both looked at each other, and I was like, here it is again. I was like, there it is. Like, that's opportunity. They walk away. She comes back. She's like, what just happened? I was like, nothing. You know, she's like, oh, no. I saw it. I could see it from a distance. Something was going down. You got to take me with you. Because she know these guys were on top of the world. This was like being signed by Nike or something. Like, it's equivalent of
These are the FUBU guys when FUBU got put in Walmart?
No.
When FUBU got everywhere?
Oh, when FUBU got everywhere. Yeah, this was
I'm talking about
1996,
the guys,
97.
Yeah, the guys that, like yo, there are people that's going to be coming home from jail.
Right.
You know, that basically got locked up in like 98, 99. They had to do 20. Yeah. They're going to want their FUBU jersey.
Yep.
Yo, FUBU started endorsing like rappers, like, which was probably a new thing at the time. They would endorse like a lot of the Def Jam artists, obviously, because of the relationship.
Yeah, they would.
Like, I remember with Keith Murray. Remember Keith Murray had the
that's later on. Yeah, that was later on. That was the entertainment.
FUBU was already
FUBU was already doing. The formula was Damon John was cool. Damon and the boys, his 4 guys, were cool with
Queens.
LL, and that was LL was their muse for the brand.
Yeah,
and then my other 2 partners, Garmento guys, had the financing through Samsung. So now how it worked was, if you had Carl Kanai on the floor, Carl Kanai sells out, the category sold, not the name. Like, you have 5 different brands on the floor. Right. This is sold out. I need to re-up.
Sportswear
the whole
sold
thing
out.
was re-up. I got to re-up fast. Who's going to give me the re-up fast? FUBU, because they had Samsung, unlimited financing at the time. We're $4 billion strong, right? At this 96, we can re-up faster than any brand. So that's why FUBU went crazy. So I knew that, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the deal with these guys. I gotta figure it out. I gotta play it cool. Like, so I cursed them out. I was like, listen, I'll get everything together. I'll call you tomorrow. They asked for my car. Get my car. I said, but do not call me at my office. There's my partners over there. Do not call me. What's he do? Calls me at the office. And to me, that's opportunity again. Now I'm going to go flex on you because you disrespected me. I'm going to judge how you. I'm going to see how you handle this dynamic here. I'm don't ever. You know what? It was intuitive. Automatically knew I'm going to check you, and I'm going to tell you how much I'm making, and if I lose my job, you're matching that salary. So I got to name whatever. I'm making $250 right now. You better, if you jerk my money around, you're going to match my number. He's like, no, okay. All right. He was scared, but he didn't flinch at $250. That's what messed me up. I was like, yo, this guy did not flinch. I said $250,000 a year. He didn't flinch. about the number.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I got to make this work. So they're like, I want to see a marketing plan. I want to see this. I want to see that. I want to see who owns the name. My partner said they did the trademark. They didn't do the trademark, so I went and got the trademark real quick. So it was a bunch of maneuvering. Called my girl up. Mark, this is where I would like the young to understand how you have to be on your toes and you have to understand the opportunity. It's just not going to be plopped to you. So I had developed this relationship with this girl at DNR News. If it's on the table and it's in a piece of paper, they value that information more than you telling them.
Right, of course.
What I do, they're like, I want to see a business plan on this day. The day before, I tell her, here's my business plan, write an article talking about the metrics and the marketing behind Latin culture, and I need this done by this day because my marketing is going to be delivered to them on the next day. The paper lands on their table. They read it every day religiously, and then my marketing plan comes. The numbers match. And they're like, this guy knows what he's doing. And we're going to miss out. They're already doing FUBU. Mm-hmm. So they're thinking, we got to get this guy.
We got to catch this train.
Yeah. So
this is genius because this is like you're on eBay and you're selling something on eBay. You're selling a coat on eBay, but then you use another ID to bid on it. And then someone bids high, and then you use their ID.
You're driving up the value.
Well, I mean, but you didn't go crazy. You just put one special bid in.
Right.
And that bid,
triggers a whole bunch. So I was amazed that I was intuitively able to figure that out, but ended up October, November, we're going back and forth, and I was able to go back to them and say, remember, my salary, they're like, yeah, we're going to get close to that. I was like, now, mind you, I'm making $45,000, so to go from 45 to 250 is pretty nice.
Yeah, that would be
nice little bump.
That would be
That's a nice bump. Plus, you have your contract and you have your percentages. And I was like, yo, this is really good situation for me. And I'm going back and forth with negotiating. Meanwhile, my current situation I'm in, I'm making a deal with them, but I'm also knowing they're trying to X me out. So I have to tie up loose ends without them knowing.
Yeah.
Right? Mind you, the guy who was my partner has 6 stores in Chicago, so I had to keep everything quiet. Mm-hmm. End of the year comes, they say, we're going to Vegas. So a year later, I'm going to Vegas, and I'm going on another brand with another partner.
With another outfit. With another
whole nother deal. End of the year, I'm wrapping it up, and they're like, Will, we got to talk to you. So I acted up pretty good.
Basically like, Will, listen,
we got to let you go. I was like,
right, this thing ain't working.
Can I get severance at least? I played it very well. Got money out of them, We did an editorial, and we shot it in my old spot. So my picture was taken. I was in DNR, and it was everything. Great press, but it was in my old spot. Mm-hmm. So the crazy part is I end up doing a deal. They get the press. January 1st goes out. Vegas. We go later on.
Do you have to marry this chick that's the reporter?
No. She ended up being cool. If I had to, I would have.
Did you give her a child at least?
No.
I'm just saying, hold on a second.
Is that what the going rate?
You owe her something. You owe her. She
was a very nice person.
Yeah, you owe her some flowers.
I tell her all the time, like, you changed my life.
Kiss her in the mouth next time you see her.
At any rate,
in front of her husband.
You end up. The guy ends up opening the door. The editorial sees me, his brand that he just let go.
Right.
He sees the article.
He just threw away. He just threw
it away. He sees it and he's like, "Yo, what's going on?" He goes back. This is like usual suspect. So I walked out of there with a limp and walked out. So the crazy part is when they go to Vegas. Mm-hmm. The guy who has 6 stores in Chicago needs FUBU. Has to have FUBU to survive. You got to sit down and they say, all right, everybody, we have a new brand called Willie Esco. If you want FUBU, you got to buy Esco. So his own brand, he's got to sit down write his own brand. He knows the collection, and he's had to write it to get his FUBU. And I was like, sorry, you guys tried to play me out. I had to figure something out. So, it was that touch and go. You had to go, and then As soon as I get into that boat, they're like, yo, you need an artist. I'm
Damn,
like,
you are a shark. that was the Shark Tank right there.
Yeah, that was very.
Who recommended you look for artists?
They had so much success with LL. It was forced.
Got you.
You know, I wanted
it's the standard now.
I wanted to be all Latin. I'll be straight up. I wanted to be all Latin. I'm going to receive the benefits of being with Nas regardless. I don't need Nas. I'm going to get the automatic assumption I'm with Nas anyway. And his track record at the time wasn't good.
For those slow them back that's listening, because Nas' alias was Escobar.
Yeah.
Esco. That was his
yeah,
rap street monkey.
And I had went to
Moniker.
Moniker.
Black History Month,
King.
I did it on purpose.
Easy.
I did it on purpose.
A King word of the day. A King word of the
Black
day.
History Month.
Yeah.
Moniker.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, nickname.
I
Alias.
did it on purpose.
I did not
Moniker.
say that.
You didn't, I did it on purpose. That was alley-oop.
It was the alley-oop.
Yeah,
King.
that's
Thank
all.
you.
So
Brilliant.
I basically was forced to grab someone, and I had tried to work with Nas before.
Yeah.
Willie, let me give A King. That's called a Freudian slip.
Oh,
What is it?
See, you had some chick named Monica on your mind.
I'm a Freudian. You're right, though.
You whose DMs are you sliding? What Monica's DMs are you sliding
Right.
through, King?
How did you?
So back to Nas, right?
Escobar.
So was Nas receptive of it? Like, how did you even reach out to him? Was he going through Steve Stout? Like, what was that process?
You got to remember, when my first year of trying to get in the door, so I went to Joe, I went to everybody, introduced myself, Fat Joe, everybody that was on the Latin side and the black side. I'm doing this line.
So you got a good Rolodex.
No, I had a Rolodex
contact.
of hustling before because I was stylist.
Yes.
And then I tried to reach out to Nas. It just didn't work out. It's when I signed with the guys and the advertisement started happening.
So
And
When the
he
budget.
sees it. That's when Horace walked in the door. It was like, all right, what's up, Horace?
Yeah.
Like, so it was.
I mean, listen, money talks, bullshit walks. I
Right.
mean, listen, let's get it popping.
yeah, you're here. Let's do it. I think they thought I was going to be scared or something, but I'm from the hood too. So it was like, let's make money. It's me, plus we have Samsung. Nas, let's make some money. Like this is for us to grab the money. We ain't gonna be here forever. This type of business ain't gonna be forever. It's gonna morph. So that's where it was. So we ended up joining forces for a little while, knowing what probably end result was gonna be.
Yeah.
I understood that too, and we grew. We grew as strong as FUBU. From 99, 98, 99, 2000, we were.
Yeah, I remember seeing it back then, and I always had the assumption. I'm a big Nas fan.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, Nas got his own
Right.
joint.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's the marketing
He was trolling.
behind it.
You were trolling.
Yeah, early troll.
Wow.
Early troll. Before, and you couldn't communicate that through magazines. People had to assume it. You know, they just didn't know. They couldn't reach out to Nas. Nas didn't have no social media. You could put this out there.
Right.
So, but the reception from him was really good. So he came in. Let's make a deal. I'm gonna get everything right for you here in the and the judge, how he took that meeting. Here's some stuff. Wear it. Cool. We're going to MTV Beach House. You could see it. He's on MTV Beach House wearing a sweater vest. I'm like, all right, now he wants to do it because he wore it. I didn't give him no money. Gave him product. He wore it. That was a sign. Like, all right, we good. Let's do this. I'm gonna come through on my part. Let's sign.
He's a man of honor.
Yeah,
Come on, let's get it popping.
You did your thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was monumental for me at the time. So we made money.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, I became so competitive that the FUBU guys were a little nervous. It's Queens. You got Nas from Queens. The FUBU guys from Queens. So I was like, I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
But I'm still confident in my talent and skills. I'm like, I think they thought that type of urban business would last forever. And I know fashion so well. I'm like, that's gonna come in like a bell bottom's gonna come in. It's gonna go out.
It's gonna have its run. It's gonna have its run.
As long as I really design clothes, so I'm confident I'll evolve. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I'll evolve. You know what I mean? So after that type of stuff happening, endorsements, making a lot of money, I wanted to get out of it. I wanted to. I was at the receiving end of Nas being mad at me indirectly because he's mad at the deal, and I'm like, yo, the way deals are struck. I'm certain he knows today because he's doing other bigger deals, but I guess there was, didn't understand how deals are struck. Like, you own this amount percentage, I own this amount percentage. We don't own majority share of the company. We can't call the shots. We can't sign checks.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Right. It did not understand that. So I'm like,
it's always to play for the bigger picture.
Yeah, I can't. I came in after FUBU, so I'm not getting a better deal than FUBU. I'm getting a less deal than FUBU because they learned their lesson. That FUBU deal with Damon, very good deal, because nobody knew what they were doing. Once they made a lot of money, I'm certain my business partners were like, damn, we gave these guys too much. Next deal, we're giving them not as much. So that was me. So, but I understood that. I was quite happy with understanding, like, I'm not resentful. I'm grateful for the opportunity. So after that, I basically decided to go into the licensing business. And I look at it as I want to keep doing this, but I don't want to be in the front. I don't want to be in the front line. How do I do this? Let's grab, I started talking to 50 Cent about G-Unit, and at the same time, Tupac. I was able to negotiate a licensing deal with Tupac, and I'm like, that's it. That's where no one's going to shit on Tupac. Like, people were going back and forth with Nas, especially Jay, and there was tribalism within urban.
But how could anyone shit on Tupac and Tupac has passed away?
No, that's what I'm saying to you. Like, if I put a clothing line together, honoring him.
Right there, yeah, nobody's on it.
Right.
I can just do my thing and have Nas as Tupac as the spokesperson posthumously.
Yes,
Nobody's gonna say nothing.
Because the estate will give you. Will you
so
make
I
the
made
deal?
the deal with the estate. I didn't do the 50 Cent deal. I got outbidded by Echo. So I did. I did.
And just to give you our context for educational purposes, Echo at the time was Mark Echo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who was then the co-founder of Complex?
I think
he's a founder.
The founder of Complex.
He's a founder.
So he had
Complex came out of the fusion brand, which is called Physical Science, and then Physical Science turned into a digital platform.
And then they had Echo, and which also birthed Shady's.
Oh yeah, that's who that came out.
Eminem's company.
Right, yeah. So I mean, it was really, I want to take a few steps back, do the same thing, and the beauty of that was, I need to do an ad. Who wants to do an ad for Tupac? Everybody wanted to do an ad. They would do it for free. Everybody would do it for free, and and being cloaked like that, like me and Nas were not on good terms, but nobody knew I was doing it. So I give Nas I indirectly give Machiavelli, he'd wear it, and it's like because it's Tupac. So
That's crazy.
I was able to go on, make the same amount of money, but really enjoy what I was doing behind the historical value of Tupac, and that really gave me some space to enjoy my son. I was traveling a lot, spend time with my son, watch him grow and stuff. So it was trying times because I'm coming out of my own brand. You don't ever want to leave. You don't ever want to stop doing your own brand. Yeah. You don't never. But sometimes the time comes and you have to say, been good, I'm out, So I just, from the Machiavelli experience, was like, I could put anything together. Like, I could do anything as long as it sort of makes sense to the culture. Like, if it's deep-rooted and it's passionate to me and I present it correctly, I think the culture will accept it, which then, Low Life was another thing. It's like, I know that type of dynamic, and I was like, there's so much potential there.
Low Life was, without question, more than any other bootleg polo brand, the one that finally put the fire.
Correct.
Back in Ralph Lauren.
I'm glad you recognize that.
Of course. What do you mean? Finally, someone woke up this animal who has this incredible archive of designs, of items. You know what I mean? And they've got, again, like those FUBU people had the machine behind him. Yeah. Ralph Lauren's got the fucking machine behind him to use fucking fabric that astronauts wear in fucking spacesuits.
He's the pinnacle in American fashion culture, yeah. So
I mean, he's got the biggest machines right now.
Yeah.
Who's got a bigger machinery?
But he was, until we touched it, he was lost. He did not. It was untapped.
They were people want to say they were foundering. They were. I feel like they put out enough shit every year to always have something within the years.
Oh yeah, I mean you're coming off the rugby thing, and you're in the heart of Denim and Supply, so it's like he's always coming up with new stuff to grow your shares, right?
Right.
Your bottom line is I got to grow the business. Then he would do deals like he'd do production deals for I think JCPenney, American Living. It's like I'll knock off my own brand for you so I can make money. Like he's running out of things to do, so it was like. Let me go back into my archive of 50 years. You know, I said, he's always had one thing. He's always had one thing each year. Yeah,
at least one thing that you had to buy. Much more than that, but at least one thing. So if you've done that for 50 years, you've got 50 things a motherfucker need to buy. How many weeks you got in a year?
Yeah,
52.
52.
There
Shit.
you go.
He got fools buying shit every single week.
Yeah, but you were pointed out to me as connoisseur of that culture early on, because I had to educate myself. I'm not a polo head.
Yeah,
but
I mean, not just polo, although polo certainly defines. I feel like that window, but I love kicks too. I love kicks. You know what I love about kicks? Really?
Oh, I know you love sneakers too.
Here we go. A-King.
Hold on.
Internets. We're doing a real quick unboxing.
Oh no.
All right, Lotto Legende.
Legenda is called.
Legenda.
It's their archives. It's their version of retro lifestyle.
All right. I'll tell you what.
That's where those Velcro patches are going to live.
Yeah.
In the Legenda.
Okay. Oh, so this is an early joint. This don't even have
these are early joints.
That's all right though. Because I like the University, that Oxblood. That burgundy.
Turn that around.
The Velcros are being saved for U.S. market.
Okay, interesting too. You branded only the outstep. You didn't brand the instep. That's
yeah, that's them. They're known for
nice.
that. They're known for that.
That's
Fire.
nice. That's
Internet,
nice.
y'all fucking with this?
What I would say is I would, what's going to be my price point here? $80? $100?
$100 probably.
Yeah.
We because we're Italian. It will be limited distribution, so I have to start a little higher. Hopefully, get it down to within under 100 actually on that shoe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. If it's a premium tennis shoe, like if this leather.
No, leather's right. I know leather's that leather is correct.
Okay.
It's really nice. I gave some to Clark. Clark loved the leather. Something I overlooked.
Leather is key.
Mm-hmm.
Leather is key because leather is going to be how this shoe wears over time, how it creases, how it just wraps itself around your foot. Internet, I tie my sneakers. It was cool at a point not to tie your shoes.
You got it tied now?
I know. I always tie my shoes because if I walked in my house with my shoes untied.
Uh-oh.
Oh, really?
My father would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm thinking, "What the fuck did I do?" He said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I don't know. Why is your shoe untied?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh shit."
That's the equivalent of saggy pants back then.
That was the equivalent of
Looking like
acting like you didn't have
shoes
fucking
untied.
parents.
Yeah, well, you had to
Acting like you didn't have somebody that was looking out for you, trying to keep you from getting brought to the precinct.
Oh Lord.
All right, so now, Esco, you're putting Lotto back in the streets.
Yeah, putting back now.
All right.
I will tell you, in New York, the footwear game is regional. Like, so you have certain cats and certain barrels that wear certain shoes.
Bro, this is a tennis shoe. And I always have respect and love for tennis shoes.
I find that Fila was a Brooklyn shoe, right? Puma was a Jersey thing. Finding out a lot of love for Queens for that shoe, and it's educational for me too because I'm from Newark, so I love my shoes that I wore, which Puma, and I've worked with Puma, So now I'm finding out about other aspects, very intriguing to find out, all right, that shoe was being worn by this person, that person back in the day. Boris Becker, famous tennis guy.
Legende, will you have an apparel line also?
Oh, yeah, of course. You're gonna. We feel that is a natural alternative, that if you have 5 pairs of Fila's in your closet, you don't need to buy another 6 pair. Pick up an Italian brand, and this is the natural alternative.
Okay.
So, first movers will gravitate towards this. Early adapters would gravitate towards this. So that you want to be first on foot with it, and then we'll tell the story from there. So our plan is to take some market share from Fila. My boy Louis is over there, so I love Fila. And
Luis Colon.
And but the market is the market. So like you have your spaces in there, and I always feel the way I see it is there's retro waves that come, and then your tech wave comes, and your retro. So we're in a slight retro wave now. So these shoes are coming back. Diadora had their run last retro wave. Etonic tried to make a run. So you have new guys coming back. Carew, Lecoq, these guys. So I can visualize the retro wave and sort of target what I want to go after to sort of make some noise.
All right, I like these joints. I like tennis shoes though. And you said you got apparel too?
Yeah, I got apparel too.
So that's coming.
That's coming a little later, but I'm starting with shoes.
That's gonna be dope. Well, I have 2 guys right here. I have Pratt to your left and Nile. These are the 2 gentlemen that I would love for Lotto to seed.
Yeah, okay.
Pratt gets himself around into music industry, listening sessions and things like that. And Nile is just a young man out in the street.
The one with the camera, right?
Yeah, the one with the camera, prison plats. That's all right.
Yeah, you guys gotta give me your sizes and
okay, bet. That's a bet. That's a bet.
Definitely follow through with everything.
That's a bet. All right, so that's gonna be. I'm already plotting something right now because of that burgundy.
All right, good.
Ralph Lauren does a lot of nice collegiate burgundy stuff.
Oh yeah.
The
earthy.
So the Lowlight brand. I mean, you knew that wasn't gonna go far.
No, you
wanted it to go further.
I disagree. Here is I'm a messenger, right? So I see it as the same mentality. Take that statement, U.S. Polo Association. You walk in the door and you say, you're not going far with that brand, right? Mm-hmm. But they're at $1 billion.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Okay. What's more legit, U.S. Polo or Low Life?
U.S. Polo, right?
When you say what's more legit,
what's more legit?
What's more authentic to the lifestyle?
What's more authentic? Okay. What's more true to our culture? U.S. Polo or Low Lives?
Well, that's not even a question.
Okay, so that's my point, and I felt like the opportunity, and my long narrative for the last hour was showing you how I think. Mm-hmm. I don't claim to be a low life, but I saw our culture had the opportunity to empower itself while this giant was sleeping and grab and build via this part of the culture. Like, low lives live within our culture. They're a section of our history that has a place, and history in hip-hop, there was just no monetizing. There's no merchandise behind it. It was like, yo, guys, you're doing it all. It's all there. If you put it all together, put it up on the table, and you see it is a brand there. You're all over the world. You're like New Zealand. You're in Puerto Rico. My research was like, yo, this is everywhere. And they're collectors, yes, but now it's time to, it's okay to buck the master. Mm. It's okay. It's like you guys can now, all right, you've got 30 years in it. Monetize this thing. Build it. U.S. Polo has no problem opening up outlets and drafting off of Polo.
Shit, opening up doors in Times Square.
Correct.
They got a door in Times Square.
Get 1% of their business. You're you're a $10 million brand. Like, you gotta be able to do that. I gotta believe. So my whole premise, just like Tupac, was like, I like this idea, and I had worked on it a couple of years. The trademark, I'm avid about empowering. So with the Tupac thing, Machiavelli, I didn't call it Tupac. I called it Machiavelli branded. I trademarked the name first. And I controlled the dialogue in negotiating the deal. But once that was done, here's your trademark back. Mm-hmm. I'm in the deal. I'm on the paper. I'm not here to take anything. I want to be part of the conversation because I'm gonna make you some money. Mm-hmm. Well, same thing I did with Low Life. So I was like, guys, I think you're missing a train here. It's a great exercise again. I love what I do. So I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can revive or actually create a platform for this Americana look, but from the street. And I think we can do this. So I had conversations with Rack and Thirst and said, look, what's going to happen is this. If we do this, you have a small window before the sleeping giant awakes.
All right, of course.
Right? In our business, you if you design something, you have common law rights for 10, 15 years. Stadium Series was not re-released. Uni Series was not re-released. I know this dynamic. If we get 2 or 3 capsules out before the giant wakes up, you then have the opportunity to rise up against him. Okay? Nothing wrong with Ralph. I love Ralph. I'm just saying it's okay to say thank you. We have our own now. That's my whole, and sometimes when someone delivers that message to you, like, great example is when people came to me and said, here's the opportunity, I didn't look at them fishy-eyed or screw-eyed. I'm like, this is opportunity, let me try and figure this out. Sometimes when you deliver a message to someone or the group and say, look, guys, I think you can do this. Now, I want my piece because I'm going to do all the work. I'm going to put it together. And I know what happens once you start putting all the work together and it starts building. Then they have a lot more to say, a lot more to want to be involved. That's great. That's good. But you woke up a sleeping giant and we could not get out of our own way. And I'm not the majority shareholder person. I was just working with, there's politics involved. You saw it in particular. Dallas was crazy because I put together, guys, I'm really trying to do this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm put together in the room, Just Blaze, Dallas Penn, Clark Kent, all low lives that I know. I'm not on that piece.
Right, low heads.
Low head. I'm putting
connoisseurs, yes.
They're going to help me launch the brand digitally as well. And everybody, they went for it. Yep. But here's what happened. The sleeping giant woke up. And what happens? That doc has changed from low life to horsepower. Because in the meantime, the giant woke up. And I'm like, yo, this is...
horsepower like 2 Chainz talks about?
Horsepower, like there's a documentary by Complex. And the beauty of that documentary, too, is that I'm not in that documentary.
But you were there.
I was there.
Did they film you?
They did film me. But they would not, I wouldn't sign the release.
Great.
Why? I wouldn't sign the release. You know, I had personal reasons, but I told them that they had to pay for an appearance fee.
Yeah.
But they did the flyer shit though.
What did they do?
Just took the shit I said and had other people say it.
Yeah. They had your fly outfit on, but they blurred your face out.
Right? Like, that's so cheap. Like, if you want to present something like that, you have...
That's what I'm saying to you.
Somebody that's what I'm saying to you. In the culture, the official... Like, I don't know... if
That's just business.
It's business. Right.
That's just
it's business on his part.
Right.
It's clever business.
But they should have just been like, all right, Dallas, or so.
No, they didn't. They don't have. I mean, you see Complex, but they ain't breaking bread like that.
They got Verizon money now. Like
now, but they still. That's going to people's pockets.
I was asking for pennies, to be honest.
Yeah, correct. I didn't fault anybody coming to the table. My job was to get you there, to help the brand have a successful launch. I got Thirst there, got Rack there, got everybody there. It's like, all right, we're closer to being, I think this could work. And they took too long to get it out, and then it slowly changed into something else. Luckily, I have the footage, and the sizzle reel says Low Life on it, so I have proof. Yo, this is my doc. It's our doc. How do you guys just take it? And I was voicing my opinion.
And it's not even a memorable moment anymore. It's like came and went.
Yeah,
that's the shit that bugs me out. You had a moment to plant yourself.
Yeah.
Along with these great architectures.
It's okay to buck a little bit.
And
look at what happened with Dapper Dan and Gucci. Same thing. Like you have a moment. And I tell Dap too. I was like, yo, you have your moment. You don't have to stay with Gucci. You did Louis Vuitton. You did Fendi.
MCM.
You got, take the bags, but say.
But you want to know something? Gucci with Tom Ford stole so much of Dap's designs.
Correct.
That I feel like he feels like I need to be at Gucci some kind of way because Gucci, y'all ate off me the most. Everyone's eating off of him, ultimately. Yeah. I mean, I would say that Louis ate off him when they had the Murakami-inspired monogram bags where they went with the white bag, just because Dapper Dan would do something like that.
Yeah,
he would do something subversive yet fly.
The crazy part is, and this is basically for consumers to understand, they left urban wear for dead. They abandoned us. The retail abandoned us. The youth abandoning us is normal. But when retail abandons you, this is what we talked about in the documentary Fresh Dress. There's an assumption that Gucci's better than us. All these brands are better. No, they're just in a different country. They probably go to the same things we do. We just don't. There's a lot of self-loathing in our business. Why do you assume that brand's better than ours? So they left us for stranded. But I take a few steps back and say the concept is that few stragglers are going to get past the gate. I just knew back then, I was like, someone's going to get past the gate. Puff pushed the envelope, then Puff led to the public school guys. The public school guys led to Kanye, and now we're in the perimeter. I feel like I think that the luxury market, there is no turning back because we are in the DNA of it. You cannot judge the brand.
We are in the DNA and we are in the design.
Correct.
So with luxury brands, outerwear brands like Moncler and even Gucci, putting out these prints. Prada also had some items.
Yeah, blackface.
Blackface or
Gollywag.
Like Gollywag, yes. Is that kind of a pushback to?
No, that's sheer ignorance. That's like, that's sheer ignorance. They think that this particular design, I'll tell you a story. As I'm negotiating Low Life, I'm also talking to Dapper Dan. This is 2013. Like Dapper Dan, his son, his family is like, I'm big on. I feel like I found my purpose was to sort of revive certain brands, like for a short period of time. So I'm like, I'm gonna do Low. I'm to go talk to Dap, and I had a conversation with him a couple times. Trying to negotiate. I'm like, guys, we have power. You can do DD like GG, and we will love you for it. Mm-hmm. Let me help you figure that out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want a piece of the action. But along the way of putting that together, I'm going to have a good time doing that because the storytelling is being genuine. It's helping him revive his brand. This is 2013, 2014. I'm shooting Fresh Dressed. And because of my experience, I just explained to you how I maneuver. I'm shooting Fresh Dressed, and I'm mentioning a deal I'm working on. I'm not signed yet with Thirst, but I'm working on it. I mentioned Low Life. Thirst is interviewed. I mentioned Dapper Dan in that documentary. Why? Because I'm assuming this documentary is going to be somewhat good, and that's marketing for me. So I don't have the deals yet, but I'm closing the deals. So I mentioned Dapper Dan in there. Nas comes in, talks about it, and they show the picture of the girl that the creative director from Gucci knocked off the picture, right? Uh-huh. That same creative director is the one that did the blackface. Mm. So I'm looking at it like, oh, you just like hip hop. You like the culture. You don't know the culture, but you're enamored by our culture so much that you just keep coming back for more. Like, you going for blackface now? Okay. You ever hear Patrick Kelly? He did the thing. He did that. So it was just fascinating to see that all happen. Like, but it's good for him. I'm happy for him because it's like going away for 30 years. You're coming out to a bag. Like, good for him. Like the first time it happened, but it was orchestrated. But first time it happened, cool. Second time, I'm like that. I'm thinking, please, just if you have a non-compete, cut that off. Yes, consult them, but move on. Go call Virgil at Louis Vuitton. Go do something there and be strong. You'll be stronger. Because what I think will happen in 10 years' time, people going back to Gucci. And if he doesn't, I hope he is, but if he doesn't figure out how to become a more stable brand in the United States, outside of Gucci, you're always going to be connected to Gucci now.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
I do hope he disconnects from Gucci.
Yeah, he should.
And just spreads his wealth through the other luxury brands that have used
I would love for him to do that.
And then really does his own thing.
Yeah.
Does his own thing.
I think he can. I think he has enough.
I agree. He has the name. He has the name.
He has everything.
He has the name. And I mean, and Willie Esco, you have a name. You have a name. But let's get back now to the agenda, which is the legenda.
Oh,
right
okay.
Now.
Yeah. Shoes.
So with the Lotto project, you just caught shoes right now. I feel like I saw another shoe from you. I feel like I saw a runner.
Oh yeah, I have full collection. So I'll give you full run. I have a full run. A Legenda is a full capsule collection of archives that they reissue.
Okay.
They have a Stan Smith version. They have the autograph. They have this. That's a signature. The autograph is the Stan Smith version. It's a very clean shoe.
Okay.
And then they have their Syntec, they call it. It's a runner.
Okay.
It's
what are the shoes that are gonna have the removable Lotto logo?
Yeah, that one is that's the beauty of our culture, right? That shoe is hot, and the minute I sat down with them, they're like, "Yeah, we want you to do this." I'm like, "Cool." I need to see that one Velcro shoe, and they're like, "What Velcro?" I'm like, "Oh, you don't know? Okay, cool." So let me not say too much, because that allows me to reserve it for the U.S. market.
Gotcha.
And take my time and, rev the engine and then drop it in here. And hopefully the big boys will come on board for that one. If Ronnie will come on, Kif come on, someone comes to introduce the shoe.
Well, I mean, listen, it could definitely rock out at Kith.
Yeah.
On some Kith treats.
Yeah.
Kind of a special, with the different flavors.
Different flavors, correct. But people think the Nike. They probably think Nike was the first one to do the Velcro thing, right? So it'd be fun educating.
So you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to
educate.
Pull some archival photos. And I'll tell you what, man, we constantly need in sneaker culture. We constantly need a hot shoe for chicks, and Lotto was a hot shoe for chicks, for cheerleaders. I mean, especially the Velcro joints. That was the cheerleader shoe. So depending on what the team colors were, that was the color.
They did that to get their attention from Adidas Color.
Man, listen.
So it was their version.
The chicks, don't forget the ladies.
No.
Willie Esco, don't forget the ladies. You take care of the ladies, and believe me, the fellas are coming.
There's a lot of ladies in sneaker culture.
Yes, the fellas are coming. Because the ladies need, I see Ralph Lauren paying attention to the ladies now, giving ladies incredible pieces. And it's about time the women got to stunt.
True.
I'm gonna see some dudes wearing some of these women's pieces too. All right. They hot like that. But man, thank you for the time tonight, brother. Man, your journey is incredible,
crazy.
And it's still going. It's still going.
Oh yeah.
It's still going.
I got a bone to pick with him though. I'm gonna challenge you on this one.
All right, we're gonna let the tape rock.
Yeah. I'm gonna challenge you on this. So my conversation was. I did the Etonic brand. Actually, one of the guys that worked with me on it saw how horribly handled that was. So I multitasked. I relaunched Coogee at the same time to keep myself busy.
That was around the time when I met you.
Yeah, right. And I had low life, so so I like to multitask. And I always said to myself, man, Etonic was. I didn't wear Etonics, but I saw the archives and they were crazy. And I was like, man, if I had ever have a chance to grab an Americana, like a shoe. There's only finite number of shoe brands that have heritage in the United States. That's just a fact. Count them on maybe two hands. Going from Brooks to Saucony, Tonic. And I love it because I'm a real sneakerhead. So I found the brand. And even Dallas didn't know what the brand was like. You don't remember the brand, right?
No.
Jaclar, right?
No.
So I remember the brand. I play basketball. I have a brand called Jaclar. And I want you to understand how I think. I know I'm going to have people, I have to educate people. Best way to educate them is show them something they like, which is Lotto. And then introduce what my fervor is to have a minority-owned heritage footwear brand. A footwear brand you can have, right? But heritage is not easy to get. Not the archives. The archives is hard to get. So when I say my shoe was Jaclar shoe is Jack and Larry Franklin. Franklin Sports out of Salton, Massachusetts. They were family-owned, and they got into the sneaker business.
How close are they to Boston? How close is that?
It's pretty close.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
It's in the shoemaking area.
Really? Dig it. Yeah, 'cause
So-
you got New Balance up there.
Yeah,
you got
everybody's
Adidas
up there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All the shoes were made up there because it was it comes from World War II, World War I
Yeah,
shoemaking. Right?
and those Dutch cobbler dudes.
You're right. Yeah. So that was the area, and these cats were servicing the equipment, tennis equipment, basketball. They're like, why don't we do a shoe brand? We're in all these doors already. Let's do a shoe brand. I know the shoe because I play basketball at St. Benedict's Prep, and I see these cats with looks like Jaguar. And back then, you cannot go walk up to somebody's shoes and say, "Yo, what are?" Like you couldn't do that back then. You just couldn't do it.
Can't do what
you can't do that. No, they'd be like, "Yo, what are you saying to me?
You might get
Are you trying to steal my sneaker?" Like you couldn't do that on the court. I play basketball, so I saw these shoes. The
Yeah, I
padding was
never
crazy.
seen them shoes.
I never seen them. I saw them from a distance, and I'm like, "What are those?" And I had to get my hands on a pair of those. Right?
In fact, how about those?
Yeah.
Give them up.
From a distance, and then it went away. Like for years, it's gone. Like I didn't know.
Disappeared. It came and
But
disappeared.
I'm a student of the game, so what happened with Etonic sort of said, "Damn, I wish I would be able to tell the story of a heritage brand that, there might be some heavy lifting because think about it, shoes. Who owns the shoe market? Puma, Adidas, Nike. Is there?
New Balance.
Okay. Well, who else? Oh,
Skechers.
Oh, relative. Who's the new guy that came on board? Under Armour, right?
Oh no, no,
okay, cool.
Yeah, they got some action.
And he
Not lifestyle though.
And he,
specific
no.
to sports.
Yeah.
Any one that looks like us that own it?
Yeah.
No.
So one thing that kids fault is like there's no heritage behind that shoe. There's nothing behind it. This has heritage. Jaclar has heritage. Number one. That's one big piece of the puzzle. That's my job to tell the story.
Yeah, when you showed me that pic of the cats from Dunbar High School.
Correct. They wore the shoes.
Except for Muggsy Bogues. The one nigga I recognized in the picture.
No. But here's the deal. Like you got Reggie Williams. You have Reggie Lewis in there, right? You have the team, and Jaclar was one of the early adapters in dressing. Remember, I mentioned college. These cats understood the game. They started sponsoring.
Damn, so Jaclar went to like AAUs and high schools.
Yes.
Nice.
Five-star basketball camp was their main thing. Think about who went to five-star basketball camp. Jordan. So the main years, 81 through 85, Jaclar sponsored those courts.
So we need those pics.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's the beauty of what I'm trying to. I have some pics.
How did Dallas fuck up?
You had me scared.
You got a bone.
No, he didn't know it. He's like, it looks like upside down Puma, and it's true.
Honestly,
absolutely true.
I've never seen that shoe before, and the sight of the shoe,
correct.
I was like, yo, this shit is wild sus.
It is.
This is the type of shit where like. But like all your people, like you went down to the park to play basketball, and then people was throwing rocks at you.
Correct.
What's the spelling on that?
JAC.
Damn, I'm butchered that up.
JACLAR.
Just trying to pull it up.
Pull it up. That's the shoe right there.
It's harder.
Okay.
Now, this also, I went to Dallas.
That's definitely something that you got out from the Army Navy store.
Yeah, but they were legit. They were
menswear too. They had like
they had apparel.
Yeah,
a full collection of apparel. Here's the deal. They were. If you go, you'll see the ads. You're gonna see the little clip ads. They were competing with Puma, Nike, Adidas in ads. The prices were the same. That's how I know they're competing.
They were legit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of fly, man. These shits. Look at this shit.
No, that was the shoe to have. That was the shoe to have. So there's your ad. Go to that ad right there. Akron. That's Akron Journal. Jaclar's in there. Look at the promos. Converse, Jaclar, Pony.
Okay.
So
you was there with Converse and Pony. You was there.
I'm there.
Yeah.
That's proof of life, right?
That's crazy, yo. How Jaclar just got kind of X'd out of memory.
How you get X'd out is when a business decision is made. Like Michael Jordan takes off from the foul line, we're out this business because we can't compete with Nike. That was what's happened. That's what happened.
Jaclar messed up by being minority owned. If they just let a white person in,
no,
we might know them. We might know who they are today.
No, they're white owned. We're minority owned now.
Oh damn! They tried to wipe them out of the books though.
They did. No, Nike was out to get everybody out the books.
Yeah.
So the goal is to educate, enlighten. Yes, I'm coming to the table with Lotto. I don't own Lotto though. The family in Italy owns it. I'm all about ownership. I'm coming to the table with something that you like, but I'm also want to educate and say, Under Armour was able to do it. I think I can do it as well.
Well, Jaclar, y'all gonna do it? Do it with premium materials.
Oh, absolutely.
Do it fly.
Absolutely.
Do it fly.
I mean,
do it fly.
What I'm seeing right now, even on the beta site, it's pretty fly shit.
It's basic. It's waiting. I'm waiting. I'll probably end up launching these shoes here, end of April, May. Just 3 styles: Endora, the Intimidator high, Intimidator low. But that's how far back I go. I told Barbito, so you remember this shoe? He's like, no, not really. I was like, I'm a real OG. I really do like sneakers, so I'm like, I'm not saying you're wrong for not knowing. I'm just saying, well, I test myself. I push myself to see what brands I do know in footwear. I'm like, I do remember this shoe line, and now I have an opportunity to do what I did wrong with Etonic because the management wasn't right. I know.
Well, you've shown that when you can get your control,
correct, yeah.
You have good ideas.
Right.
You know, it doesn't always work out fully, but you have great ideas.
Correct.
And you're continuing to refine them, continuing to develop them and engineer them to get to this point. I love it that you are still on the journey.
Oh,
you understand? Willie Esco, you're still on the journey. Like, there is no end game. Like,
no,
if I said to somebody, what's the end game? And the end game, you would say, oh, man, listen, you know, to have a store in a mall somewhere selling USPA.
It's always learning. You got to learn, and when you stop learning, then you retire.
You might have to send Zion Williamson a pair of these
right.
high tops.
Hopefully, it takes time. So the messages, I'll do stuff like this. I'll get it out there. I know from my requests online, and you could see, you could do a historical thing on this and see where the ads were placed, and there are, age group is skewing 25 to 35 of people that know the brand, and already in line to get the brand when I launch it.
Damn,
but
people knew this brand.
Yeah, people did know it. I'm getting requests every day on it, and it's amazing. But whether they know it or not, I know the culture. So my mantra is, we have an opportunity to change the narrative. We don't always have to buy Nike, Adidas, Puma. Come on, y'all. We don't have to do that. You can try something else.
Yeah. Look at you, revolutionary rebel. Trying to get people to fucking think on their own.
Yeah, you don't have to. And the crazy part is, you're okay with picking up a pair of Under Armours, and he came in last, and so it's
nah, them shits was whack.
They are, but he's able to enter the marketplace. And
sure. Well, I mean, let's face it. Under Armour sells shoes because Steph Curry throws the ball from 30 feet and it goes through a stupid rim.
Yeah.
That's the only reason Under Armour sells shoes. Under Armour doesn't sell shoes because people like to look like they have nurse foot.
Nurse foot? You see that one.
Under Armour sells shoes because Steph Curry. Steph Curry
they did tennis
ain't
too.
Nothing to fuck with.
Like he said, they have tennis. The tennis world knows Jaclar very well.
Who we gonna get into your Jaclars? We're gonna get James Harden into Jaclar.
Oh man, I wish one day I can get to the court. Yes,
I think he has a.
I know he has an Adidas deal, but that
nah,
you gotta go new. You gotta go new guys.
You're targeting someone that's in high school right now, probably.
Okay.
Because it's gonna take me a couple years to get it.
Who's the next best player after LeBron's son? Because they're gonna hype him.
Yeah.
Whoever his counterpart is.
But you can't compete. The problem is you can't compete with the numbers. So you have to come in and offer up ownership. You know, that's tennis.
That was a secret, man. What's wrong with you?
Internets, man. We here spazzing out now.
It's cool.
Yo, look at this though.
Scrolling through shit on the internet.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Oh, what's y'all doing there?
Y'all can't see this.
Need that.
What we seeing, but Jaclar coming with it. So all right, Jaclar.
Yeah, I had that. That'll be out soon.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
I need grassroots support because then it grows. You know, you basically that's why I'm here because I respect
people to wear your stuff. Listen, Pratt is gonna wear this stuff.
Oh, consider it done. I find something I like and I don't quit.
Niall is wearing it. All right. You don't want an old fat nigga like me wearing your shit now. Anyway, people be like, oh, that's what old homeless fat niggas wear? Yeah.
Not homeless though.
I know, but I just give that.
Now we need you to wear. We need Dallas playing some Jaclare.
Yeah, good Jaclare jumpsuit.
Jaclare, yeah. Like an Al Sharpton.
Like
y'all got an Al
Sharpton. There you go.
Don't take no selfies in the bathroom with the Jaclare shorts on.
You gotta let your hair grow a little bit.
Internet's the podcast is called Talkitecture. I'm still sick. Fuck, man, I'm still sick with this shit. But yo, we had a great show tonight.
Yep.
Willie Esco.
Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
You know, fashion, like I said before, mogul, maven, visionary, owner. Still on it. Pumping these Lotto shoes, pumping this Italian Corinthian leather Lotto shoes. Get with this shit. Internets.
Lotto's coming.
Jaclar.
Definitely.
All right? It does not stop. Internets. It's a podcast called Talkitecture. We were engineered tonight by Brother Chris, executive produced by A. King, with co-host Vary White, a.k.a. Michael Pratt.
Here I am.
Interned by Niall Bumbaclot Ruckus.
No word.
This podcast brought to you by Jenkins & Jenkins. We support the Loudspeakers Network. Or 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 the Loudspeakers Network.